playground. This is my playground.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Hello.
Tom was supposed to tell me when we went live because I can't see it. Thanks, Tom.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Expert Zone Level Up. I am Ger Lynch. This is very surreal because I can't see anything except over here. Tom is over here. Say hi, Tom.
Hi, Ger. Hi,
How are
guys.
you?
How's it
How's
going?
things?
I'm not too bad.
This is actually an awful lot weirder than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, it's pretty weird. Let us know in chat if we sound okay. If we're all good. I will let you know.
Thank you very much for the host, Games Guru.
Yeah, go through the basics, I suppose. Welcome to Expert Zone Level Up. If you're watching us on Facebook, please like and share the stream. If you are on Mixer, please feel free to host and get a Sparks train going. Choo choo choo. And if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share as well. We really appreciate the support. The like helps us get out to a wider audience. And welcome to the off season, Tom.
It is. It is a little bit of an off season. Born Gamer, thank you very much for the host. So yeah, we finished season 5 last week. I know a lot of you tuned in for the last episode. We had a pretty good Bleeding Edge stream. All 4 of us on stream, all playing, so it was really good. If you haven't watched that, make sure you jump back and give it a view. It's a really good stream. It's a really good stream.
For those of you who are wondering how we managed to create this amazing illusion where I appear to look at Tom and Tom appears to look at me, over here I have my visual representation of Tom. Say hi, Tom, everybody. Hi, Tom. And Tom lives on my window over here, so I know that he's there. Not nice. Over on chat, then we have Dave Winningham on Facebook saying hello to John Pinnock. Say hello to us, Dave. What did we do wrong? No? Adam Michael Groves is also replying to John Pinnock. No one's talking to us. That's fine. Born Gamer over on Mixer. Hello. Games Guru. Evening all. Good evening, Games Guru. How are you? Gabby Abbott over on YouTube. How are you doing, Gabby? John Pinnock, as we said, is already here. Hi. No, that's one of us. Yeah. Hi.
We're all here, man. That's what I love. I love about this stream is that on a Wednesday night, everybody gets together and they have a conversation. We have a chat and everything like that. It's amazing, and that's what I love about our community that we have here, is that we are here together.
We are here together. That is very, very true.
We're not allowed.
We're not allowed to, so we can't get them to you right now. But don't worry, we have them. They're bought. They're all here. And they will get to you as soon as we're able to leave our houses for safety reasons and get them out to you. So don't worry about that. They're safe. They're not going anywhere. We have them for you, okay? Yeah. Games Guru says, congrats, that man. Boo-hoo. John Pinnock, wait, you're working that week. I'm assuming the team who was... I don't know. I'm missing half the conversation here, apparently.
I think it's about the launch of Season 6 is the same week another game comes out. So he assumed everyone would be taking time off on holiday to play that new game.
This is her. This is what we do. This is what we do. We'll probably play on this. We might. We probably won't.
We won't be. It's on a competitor platform.
Look, at that stage, Tom, we might want to play anything, you know. Who knows? Who knows by then? Okay, cool. So that's the formalities out of the way.
Yes.
Tom, how are you handling the lockdown?
Not too bad. I've kind of realised that quarantine life is my normal life.
Oh, right.
I'm playing a lot of games. I'm spending a lot of time with my wife, which is lovely.
That is lovely.
And so yeah, it's just been a really, really, like, as much as yes, I can't leave the house, I don't really leave the house anyway. So I don't know if that's a sad thing to admit, but yeah, it's not too bad. Work is work. I'm really enjoying being busy. I know we're doing a lot with our retail partners in that sense. Plus, we're doing all these streams. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time in these 4 walls working on things for you guys, which I think's really, really cool.
Very interesting comments there. Games Guru said, "Is it God of War, Ger?" Very funny, mate. That's an in joke from a different
Okay.
event at a different day.
I will.
He knows
I
how
will.
to react at that time to it.
I will leave that in joke to you.
You might have been there for it. It was during the Elite Awards, the day of it.
Okay.
when Brought the Elites down to the studio to do a stream, and Derek brought up God of War in the stream instead. Of like, wait, really, mate? Really? Okay.
Not the time. Not the time.
Not the place either. Rafal is also in chat. How you doing, Rafal? How's things, mate? Glad you are with us tonight. And Games Guru is all over the chat, so keep that going, Derek. Cool. All right. So, what are we doing tonight, Tom?
I'm hoping we can play some games.
It's a good starting point, Tom. It's a gaming stream.
It is a gaming stream. We are going to be playing, if you haven't already spotted in the title, we are going to be playing Doom Eternal. So this launched on the 20th of March. It's been out a week, 10 days, something like that. It is, in my personal opinion, an absolutely phenomenal game. I've seen a couple of comments already in chat of people saying they've been playing it, they've completed it. We're going to be starting this game from scratch, from the beginning. Yeah, I love it. I've loved the Doom series for a long time. I'm assuming we will talk a little bit more about the Doom franchise itself. But yeah, this game is just incredible. Hey, DJ, thank you very much for the host.
As they say in the DJ world, it's a banger.
It is a absolute banger.
We've got Gary Shuttleworth in chat as well. Hannah the Evangelist is here now.
Good
Hello,
evening.
Hannah.
Good evening, all.
I'm over on YouTube watching it on the chat there. So anyone comes in on Facebook or anything, Tom, feel free to holler them out. I can see the comments, but I can't see who's watching. So
No problem.
So let's get into this a little bit. Let's
Cool.
start with the formalities of the game. Let's get the logistics out of the way. Game availability and game modes.
Yep. So there are two different editions of the game. It is available across all platforms, so it's not an Xbox exclusive. It's across all platforms, apart from Nintendo Switch. But it is available on PC. It is available on Xbox. And there are two different editions of the game. There is just a standard edition, which currently digitally is $54.99, and with that you just get the game. To be honest, that's all you, in my opinion, that's all you need. Absolutely great. It's good as just as it stands. But there is a deluxe edition as well. So the deluxe edition is $79.99. Once again, available digitally. That's the price, digitally wise. But what you get is actually 2 campaign add-ons with a year 1 pass.
Nice.
So as they are making new content for the game, new campaign content, you will get that as part of that that year 1 pass. So you'll instantly unlock those as they become available. They will be available to buy separately if you don't want to spend the extra money now the game's out. You can get the standard edition and buy the year 1 pass at a later date if you so wish. But that isn't just everything that you get. As well as the year 1 pass, you do get the new Slayer skin for Doom Guy, as he is referred to in the title. And what I think is really cool is that obviously with the remake of Doom 2016 and then with Doom Eternal now, it has been modernized. So you've got new weapon sounds, new sound effects, everything like that. So what they've actually included in the deluxe edition is the classic weapon sound pack. So your weapons actually sound like they did in the original Doom. So for those nostalgic players out there that enjoy older games, retro titles, because I can call the original Doom a retro title now.
At this stage, I think you can, mate. It's quite it's as old as we are.
I know, right? Well, funny enough, I was 5 when the original Doom came out.
What year, Tom?
It was out in 1993.
I feel so old.
I was 5, and I'm now 31.
I was 12, no, 39.
We'll just say that underneath your breath a little bit.
Moving on, Tom.
Yes. Yes, Games Guru, there is going to be campaign DLC coming. That's part of the year 1 pass. And then there'll be extra maps for multiplayer as well, as they kind of release that.
Yeah, a couple of bits of people in chat. Games Guru, we're all Doom. Ed, congratulations on the pun war has begun. John Pinnock, it's brutally hard this time around. Brutal, yes. That's another thing we must say. If you're of a squeamish nature, we have lighter streams that you might want to watch instead of this one. There is a very serious caveat to what we're doing tonight. This game is gory. It's a 18s rated game, and it's every bit of it. It's very, very, very gory. So if you're not into gore, just bear that in mind. If you are, you're gonna love this. You're
gonna love this, and hopefully I'm gonna get some gameplay in that actually showcases that as well. But yeah, we'll get
We're
into
gonna
that.
talk about-
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the difficulty of the game as well.
Yep.
Games good. Barry Pierce is here. Hey, Barry. John
Good
Hart
evening.
is here. Hey. Microtransactions, we'll get into that as well. And yeah, jump in. Yeah, we're good.
Good. We said hello to
That's right,
everybody.
man.
Everyone's still here. Amazing.
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
It's good, man. It's good.
14 people on YouTube. Welcome to YouTube, lads.
Good. Good evening.
Good evening. Hit that like button. Smash it. Okay, cool. So, we've done that.
Yes.
Let's have a little chat about the history of Doom, Tom.
Cool. So, Doom Eternal, as you
Game.
kind of guessed, isn't the first game. I've already mentioned Doom 2016, which was kind of a rebranding of the Doom franchise. But as I've already kind of alluded to, when I was the ripe old age of 5, the original Doom came out.
Yes.
Since then, between 1993 and 2020, there has been 9 Doom games in the mainstream of the Doom franchise. But there's also been 4 spin-off titles. So whether that's on mobile, whether that's on PC or console, there have been a couple of spin-off titles that don't directly follow the kind of lore and story of the game. But yeah, really then, there are 13 Doom titles that you can go out and play now, which I think is pretty cool. It's one of those things. It's a franchise that has constantly grown, constantly developed, and in my eyes, and I'm sure you'll agree, Ger, Doom was the original first-person shooter.
We'll get to that a bit later, won't we?
Okay.
Actually, let's get to that now. Over the course of this stream, we've got 14 explosive facts about Doom that we are going to litter throughout the stream. One of them, we're not going to do them in chronological order, but we'll do that one. What were first-persons called originally, Tom, when Doom first came out?
So yeah, first-person shooters didn't always used to be called first-person shooters. They used to be called Doom clones.
Doom clones.
Doom clones.
The closest one to it, and the nearest one probably to its release, would have been Duke Nukem.
Yeah. So yeah, Duke Nukem was referred to as a Doom clone.
As a Doom clone. So before they were called first-person shooters, they were called Doom clones.
Yes.
Bet you didn't know that.
There we go.
And that's why you come here every Wednesday night for these insights, people.
And you have 13 more interesting facts to come, Ger.
I hope they're interesting, Tom. One of them was anyway. Let's hope the rest of them are.
But what I like about the Doom franchise is a lot of people only know it as a video game.
Yeah.
Doom has had 4 different novels. It has had one-shot comic book. There has been a Doom board game. There was a film last year called Doom Resurrection, I think it was. But also, how can we forget Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the original Doom film?
Rock to Dwayne Johnson, if you smell what he's cooking.
If you smell what he's cooking. So yeah, it's not just a video game. There are books, video game. Yes, of course, there's video games, comic books, board games, films. This franchise is sprawling over all entertainment, and that's what I love about it, because you can do so much with it. There's so much backstory if you want to know about it. There's different ways to play the game with board games. You can
You're very excited about this game, aren't you?
Yes, if you can't tell. If you can't tell, I am over the moon that this is available to play. I've been waiting technically 4 years for Doom Eternal to come out after absolutely loving the Doom 2016. Because Doom 2016 was my game of the year it launched. Wow. And there was a lot of good games out that year, and Doom won it for me.
That's wicked, man. So, there's a couple of people, people are very excited about this. Games Crew was asking, so there's campaign DLC coming and not just multiplayer?
Yep.
That's a common question for it. Yeah, there is, yeah. Are there microtransactions? We'll get into that. Games Crew was older than Tom. I know he is. I'm not going to play to your ego. Who else have we got here? Rafal. I've been nominated apparently for something over on Workplace. That's going to be fun to look forward to that afterwards.
Have a look at that notification.
I didn't get that just yet. I've been a little bit busy, but we'll get to it. John Pennick generally didn't know that. Thanks, Jer. You're welcome, John. That's why I exist, to make sure you guys know these little tidbits. Christopher Crew just watched Marky Plyer play this. Watching a lot of people play this right now. It's getting a lot of traction.
Yeah.
Adam Groves loved the film. How could you not love the film? The Rock was in it.
Yeah.
He wasn't the main protagonist in Doom film either.
Nope.
The honor went to Carl Urban. What a cast!
Yeah. But to be honest, really, I watched that film because The Rock was in it.
That's why I watched most of them.
And you had the typical eyebrow move. I can't do it. There you go.
Hang on,
Ger
I
can
can.
do it. It was that eyebrow raise mid-film that made that film for me. It's one of those films that is so bad it's good.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about the films. We're here for other
We're here to talk
reasons.
about the lore. We want to talk a bit about what was the universe that Doom has kind of created in itself as well, which is there's quite a lot in that, Tom.
There's a lot there, as you can kind of tell from the
Folks.
books and all that sort of stuff.
You've got a lot of downtime on your hands right now. There's a whole lot of Doom to get stuck into.
There's a whole lot of Doom. And you can get the original Doom on Xbox. It was originally launched into the Xbox Live Arcade when that was a thing. And you can now buy it as an ID kind of 8-bit retro title. So yeah, you can play the original Doom on your Xbox. It's why not?
Would you like your useless fact number 2, Tom?
Yeah, hit me with it.
The name Doom
Yep.
was inspired by Tom Cruise.
What?
Apparently, the what's his name, John Carmack,
Mm-hmm.
when he was on the Doom World about the game, he said that there was a scene in The Color of Money where Tom Cruise pulls out a customized pool cue case,
Okay.
and someone says to him, "What have you got in there?" And he says, "Doom."
There we have it. Tom Cruise
That's where the name-
inspired Doom.
He inspired the name Doom. Yeah. From the
Love
horse's
it.
mouth.
Absolutely love
Cool.
it.
So let's get into the game, Tom.
Cool. So, Doom Eternal is... Yes, it's a kind of a sequel to Doom 2016. It is bigger, crazier than it's kind of ever been before. And there are some similarities with the original, but there are also some kind of key differences as well. Some of the similarities is that there is a heavy campaign in this. There is a heavy storyline. You're not just blowing demons up. I was going to say aliens then. They're not aliens, they're demons. You're not just blowing demons up and chainsawing them in half. There is a character development and there is a story and there is a purpose for what you're doing. The difference kind of was between the two is that yes, Earth is still in peril, but in 2016 you were mainly underground in inverted commas, so you were in hell. You were going through the different circles of hell, doing bits and pieces. There were a couple of levels on the surface, but Doom Eternal is pretty much purely based on the surface of Earth. So the demons have come to the surface. They have destroyed buildings, destroyed cities.
They've done some damage.
They've done some serious damage. But yeah, Earth is in peril, and you're the hero.
Yeah, well, hero, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. Hero?
Yeah, as much
Not a
as
hero?
you are,
As he can be.
you're as much of a hero. Some would say like the kind of the anti-hero. You wouldn't expect
Anti-hero. Yeah,
the Doom guy to be a hero character, but really you're saving the world, which is cool, which is what you want.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, with that, I think we should kind of jump into some gameplay, showcase some of the bits and pieces that we can talk about. So I'm going to switch across to gameplay, and we're both going to be in the bottom of the corner, so we're a little bit further apart now.
Oh no, don't go.
No, don't go. But there's a couple of
my little book with your face outside the window now, do it?
just throw
So
it
it's realistic.
throw it into the garden.
Just launch it.
But there's a couple of different elements, and I know it's kind of been touched on with chat. There is your kind of core campaign, which we've already spoken about, but there is a multiplayer function as well called Battle Mode. Now, this is a multiplayer in Doom, isn't brand new. In Doom 2016, they did have a multiplayer aspect of it, which was very much team deathmatch, but you could almost like level up, and if you got a special ability, you turned into one of the demons, which means your score went through the roof because you're very difficult to kill and you have a massive arsenal. That's kind of changed with battle mode, and unfortunately we can't showcase that off to you guys, mainly because I don't know the login details for our Battle.net account for our work profile. But anyway, let's just scoot past that.
Move on, Tom. Move on, Tom.
So what battle mode does is it puts you as the Doomslayer human character against two other player-controlled demons. And these are like not just your little demons, these are the big kind of boss demons. So you've got...
And there's a bit in that as well. You were saying this to me earlier on. Just when you meet these guys for the first time, they feel like boss battles.
Yes. So every time you kind of encounter a new enemy, you feel like this is the hardest enemy that you've gone against yet.
Yeah.
But as you kind of play through the game, one, you level up your suits and you level up your character, which we'll get into as we play. But by the end of the game, you're taking on 4 or 5 of these kind of sub-boss enemies at the same time, and you're just wiping the floor with them. Because you've got used to how you need to kill them, you understand their abilities, how they're going to move, you've upgraded, So yeah, at the start of the game, you feel massively under pressure, but as you kind of play through it, you unlock more abilities that make the game technically easier, but the game itself gets harder by throwing more enemies at you. So it's constant like catch-22 of like, yeah, I'm unlocking new things, and then all of a sudden you've got 4 massive bosses to kill.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that.
Shaz in the chat, he said Doom was amazing when it first came out. Me and my mates set up Net Doom and worked through tech support. Love it. And then the board gamer says Marauder, hate that guy.
Yeah, he's they're interesting characters, and we'll get into. So yeah, there is the multiplayer aspect, but there is also the campaign. We're going to be playing the campaign today. So I'm just going to boot up the game, and first of all, we have the difficulty settings.
Because there's a natural difficulty escalation from this, isn't there, from Doom 2016?
Yes, so because the game kind of runs smoother, you run slightly faster, frame rates are better, processing power is better nowadays, the game just generally runs smoother. So because you have more like flexibility on how you can play, ID Software and Bethesda Softworks have actually made the game naturally harder than 2016. Because naturally you are a better gamer because of how well the game plays. So yeah, there's a couple of difficulty settings. My favourite title of them all is "I'm Too Young to Die," which is the easiest difficulty setting. So yeah, enemies attack less often and do less damage, and some items you pick up, like health and armor, they give you higher higher health back or higher armor back. You go in
setting there for "I'm too old to die young," is there?
No, it's not. But there's like Hurt Me Plenty, Ultra Violence, Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare, and then Extra Life Mode. So you kind of get into the point of like Ultra Nightmare is if you die, you start the game again. That's how hard it gets. But yeah, it's kind of higher enemy health pools. They attack faster, they attack quicker, and you have less health, or they deal more damage, I should say. So yeah, there's multiple different ones, and there's also extra life mode. So throughout the game, you can actually gain extra lives. So instead of having to die and then revert to a checkpoint, you can just come back to life instantly. And extra life mode means that as you collect extra lives, if you run out of those, you just die and you have to start the game again. So it's constantly trying to find those extra life points, but they are hidden throughout each map, which is where you come into kind of secrets and stuff like that. For the point of the stream, so you don't see me die too often, I'm going to play on Hurt Me Plenty. I'm not going to go I'm Too Young to Die, because I'm not going to get ridiculed in chat for playing on the easiest difficulties.
If you were to do that, mate, you would be torn apart. I would expect me to do that, but you're an actual gamer, so I would not expect
so yeah, I'm going to play on Hurt Me Plenty. That way we can showcase as much as we possibly can for you. But let's boot it up. I've gone into there, and we'll kind of go through the opening cinematic, which is actually probably one of those badass opening cinematics I've seen in a game of recent dates. So yeah, I'll let you guys kind of watch this as it kind of loads up. The loading screen is just behind Ger, which is why you can't see where it is, but we should just be booting up now.
I can't see anything, so it's irrelevant.
But let me know if game sound is too quiet or too loud.
Yeah, let us know in chat, guys. If the game sound is too high, or too low, we will alter that.
So there's a lot going on. This kind of sets the story of what's kind of going on, what's happened in space, which is obviously where a lot of the original Doom was set. You're in space stations and all those bits and pieces, as well as kind of in the circles of hell. I know you were on Mars and all that sort of stuff. As I said, this is based on Earth now, as we kind of float down into Earth. So it's good, man. This is an epic opening cinematic. So I will shut up. It's so tense.
I'm trying not to talk. It looks amazing.
And like graphically, it still stands. Like I know it's just a new release, but a lot of people assume Doom is an older title, so it won't look as good. This just looks stunning.
But it's still Doom. Like when you play it from that first person shooter angle that Doom has itself, that's slightly closer to the gun kind of positioning is still there.
Yeah. it has its first-person elements like rooted throughout the whole game, and like you can already hear the music in the background building up. Like,
We're going to talk about the music as well,
Yes.
because that is a big part of Doom.
because the composer that does all this music is a god among men.
If you weren't aware, here's another useless fact for everybody. Useless fact number 3. So the composer Bob Prince took an awful lot of the original soundtracks. He took a lot of from metal bands at the time. So he's labeled Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica, Pantera, AC/DC, Alice in Chains, Black Sabbath as the influences for the music of Doom.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
And a few of them repaid the favour. They sent the tracks into and CDs, untitled CDs, into the studio, and said for the makers of Doom, thanks for everything.
Oh, amazing. I've just seen a quick comment from Wahid saying, is it 4K HDR? There isn't 4K textures in this, however it is HDR10. So if you have a HDR television, this will output in HDR and stuff like that. And we are in gameplay straight away.
Nice.
It kind of...
Drew was asking, were we holding our breath? Also, everyone was holding their breath.
Everyone was holding their breath. So yeah, as you can see, it's pretty gory. No.
Just found out Hannah Deathridge's nickname apparently is Megadeth. I would have thought it was Mega Bridge or something like that. There you go, it's Megadeth. There you go, Hannah.
There we are.
Death Star.
So yeah, we have spawned into Earth. Oh, and this is what it kind of, the tutorial level kind of explains to you how to use different moves and all those bits and pieces. So as your enemies flash, you can do what's referred to as a glory kill. So what glory kills do is a rather interesting animation. But by doing a glory kill, what you actually gain is health from that.
Yeah.
So because this game, you're constantly fighting, you're constantly moving. Really, if you stay still, you're gonna die. Yeah. I've also just unlocked the chainsaw, which is a weapon that's...
Oh, I'm slightly behind on the stream that I'm watching, but this looks incredible.
Yes.
Adam Michael Groves has said the detail is amazing. Yeah.
So as you guys will be able to see on stream, well, Ger will see it slightly delayed, as I was saying, if you glory kill an enemy, you gain your health back. However, when you run out of ammo, you need a way to get that back, and you use your chainsaw to gain ammo back from enemies that you're killing.
Yeah.
So you use the chainsaw. However, your chainsaw has a limited amount of uses. You have to collect fuel for that. So yeah, there's plenty to kind of keep you going.
Oh, that's an original one. Nice. To talk about this as well, then there are 3 main things as Doom Guy you need to keep your eye on, isn't there?
Yes, there is 100%. That is your health, your armor, and your ammo. If you run out of really any of them, you're in trouble. So there's a couple of different ways you can upgrade. So this is kind of a perfect opportunity. I'm just to make sure there's no enemies around. There are health packs that are laid on the grounds, which are big white kind of backpacks, medic backpacks. And then there is yellow armor that is dotted around the map as well. You can walk into there and you automatically pick it up. However, you can also set enemies on fire later in the game, and that also gives you armor. So it's constantly about using all your abilities to keep yourself alive.
Yeah. Wahid said he remembers the old Doom had either rocket launcher, and he said so much gore, so much blood.
There's so much gore.
We did say
there's
a lot of gore.
There is a lot there. And we've actually just unlocked a new weapon ability. So throughout each level, there are weapon unlocks, and you can then use that to make your guns a lot better. So for the shotgun, or the combat shotgun, you either have sticky bombs or a full auto kind of spray. I much prefer the sticky bombs. It's really good for crowd control and taking out some bigger enemies. So I'm going to unlock the sticky bomb to start with. However, depending on how far we get within the game, we may also see the full auto capabilities as well.
Yeah. He said backpack like a lunchbox. Yep.
Yeah, basically. So it's really simple. There is no kind of aim down sights with Doom. You are hip firing everything. So yeah, you can't like kind of use the left trigger to aim.
I don't think it lasts long if you're aiming. If you're taking the time to aim or to find a position, I don't think it lasts very long in the game.
No, exactly. And what the left trigger is used for is to actually have as your like secondary mod. So as I said, I equipped the sticky grenades, and you just in there, and I just took out 2 enemies with the sticky grenade. And this is now kind of coming into our first kind of big fight scene. So it's a room full of enemies, and I've got to take them out as quickly as possible.
You alright, yeah?
Yeah, there's just a few. So they spawn all over the place. They come out of the walls, they come out of the ceiling, they come out of the floors. It is everywhere. But you've just got to keep, as I said, keep moving. If you stop moving, you're gonna die.
Just keep swimming, Tom.
Just keep swimming. Exactly.
Andrew Hosner McQueen said, Doom Eternal, complete it, mate. Nice one.
It's what I like to hear, man. It's what I like to hear.
Got to complete the first mission in under 11 minutes for that sweet, sweet challenge.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for that, because there are challenges throughout the game. So you have to get a certain amount of kills with a certain weapon, or sort of amount of glory kills. There's constantly things that are enabling you to unlock new abilities, new skins for your multiplayer characters, everything like that. So you're constantly progressing depending on how you kill enemies.
Tom, tell us a little bit more about the story of the game.
So I kind of covered the basics when we kind of spoke at the beginning, of which Earth is in peril. The demons have come to Earth now. They're no longer conquering Mars. They have... Oh, I've just missed with that grenade. And that one. So they've come to Earth. They're no longer in space. They are on our home turf, and they are trying to cause as much death and destruction as humanly possible. So it's you as the Doomslayer having to track down... This is what kind of the opening mission is kind of telling you. I've just picked up a collectible there as well, and there are X amount of collectibles throughout each level. So 100% of the game you have to find them all, but some of them are rather well hidden. So yeah, we are currently in the process of trying to find these guys.
It's quick.
So these are
you're not even being overwhelmed yet, and it's quick.
Yeah, pretty much. So these guys that I'm currently having a chokehold are kind of the princes that have brought the demons to Earth.
Yeah.
And there are 3 of them. I have just gracefully killed the first one, and maybe slightly decapitated him. And then now the rest of the game is you basically trying to find... The easy way to explain them is the princes of hell, basically. There's a lot going on. They're trying to destroy Earth, because that's where the Doom guy is from. And this is where we kind of get the first view of Earth. So yeah, as I said, as you kind of said then, it is fast. You got to keep moving. You got to keep make sure your health's topped up, your armor's topped up. You've got enough ammo. There is no reload functionality. You just keep firing until you run out of bullets.
Yeah. Andrew has said, joined a little bit late, but not sure if we covered already, but totally worth giving a little bit about the lore of the Doomslayer, which was on our list of things to talk about.
It is.
Himself.
So yeah, I've just unlocked another weapon mod. So I can then now unlock the full auto spray.
Nice.
I forgot we unlocked that sooner than we actually did. I thought it was a little bit later in the game. So yeah, we can kind of showcase both the sticky bombs and then the full auto element on it. And you can swap mods within the game. You don't have to be in a menu system or anything like that. So as you kind of run out of grenades, you can switch across to the full auto system that just keeps you just firing at will. It's just brilliant.
There's a John Pennick saying there's a Twitch Prime skin that turns you into a Doomicorn. And then Andrew has said it's so funny playing through the game as a Doomicorn.
Yeah, I can imagine that's an interesting one. I haven't personally seen it, but yeah, it is an interesting way to kill demons dressed up as a unicorn.
It's unusual. Wahid has clarified as well what you're saying. He said you mean just keep killing until you die. Essentially.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's quite an interesting lot going on because it's quite fast moving. You can get quite lost in the game. So just pressing down on the D-pad brings up your objective marker, telling you where you need to head to. Or just switch to sticky grenades. There we go. And then there is also a map functionality as well. So the map functionality shows you exactly where you've been, judging by the green outline. But there is also question marks, which will show you where secrets are and all that sort of stuff. I know I missed some in the original area. But to be honest, I can't remember how you actually get into that area, so I'm not going to embarrass myself on the stream. But yeah, you've kind of got the question mark on the map there. That shows you that there is a secret there that you can go back and get to. And just by unlocking all of the secrets in each level and getting all the collectibles, you have the ability just to unlock some more skins, and all those bits and pieces. As you would have...
Tom,
Yes, mates.
he's got a house now, hasn't he?
He's got a... Has he got a house?
He's got a house
He's
now.
got a house. He's got a nice little lair, to be fair. So we kind of saw it in the opening cutscene a little bit. That Doom Guy now has a place to call home.
Yeah.
And that is in the Fortress of Doom. So that is on our... Oh, that's a big enemy.
Tom, where's it located?
It's located in space. Sorry, I've just realised I've got loads of enemies.
It seems like the safest place to put it, really, considering what's going on Earth.
Yeah, to be honest, it is definitely one of those things that you want to be off Earth right now, because it's not going well. As you can kind of see from how poorly I'm playing at the moment. I'm just going to run and grab some health. But yeah, so there's loads kind of going on. This is what we mean about it being fast, furious. It just never ends.
You've got to be vitally aware of your ammo as well during this, don't you? So you're trying to pick up as much ammo throughout this by killing enemies and grabbing stuff for armor and for ammos as you go through this. So when you get to this stage, you've got enough to get you through it.
You've got enough, and you will run out of ammo midway through a fight. So you've got to make sure you're constantly picking up fuel for your chainsaw. Otherwise, it's you're going to run out. I've just died. There we go. Even on the second easiest difficulty, I've still died. That's what you get when you...
coming at you, Tom. There's a huge amount going on there. Like, that is very difficult to concentrate on. There's so many smaller guys come at you as well as the two main guys you're fighting there as well. Yeah,
like there's a kind of two your main guys. We've seen this Arachnotron kind of attacking me with the smaller guys as well. The smaller guys are there purely to try and distract you.
That's literally it, yeah.
So you don't then start attacking the main guy. But that's the situation that we are in right now. I'm going to try and take out some of these smaller guys reasonably quickly. I say that as I get attacked by the main guy, but we should be pretty... There we go. I've managed to take out the main guy there, so at least it's going to be slightly easier to take these guys out.
Yeah. When you're doing that, useless fact about Doom number, I don't know, 4 or 5 at this stage? 4? I'm going to say 4. The original team that worked on Doom was 15 people, that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, a very small, intimate team that made the original Doom, yeah.
And I think we see that with a number of games that are like kind of available now, is that even the team doesn't have to be massive for the games to be amazing.
Yeah. And sometimes maybe it works in the benefit to do it that way because they're all, as I said, intimately invested in the game.
Yes, 100%.
And it's easy to control how many people are working on different elements within the game. It might take you longer to get the game out, but you'll get something that's more cohesive.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's really shown, even though obviously the teams have grown with Doom, by having it start out with a small number of people working on it, just means that it is capable of doing it, and you can still really output an amazing title with not a huge amount of people on the team.
Small, select, skilled individuals can do it just as much.
100%. As I
try. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I'm trying to find the last enemy. There he is.
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo. Oh, there he is. Let's see if I can take him out.
You're a big fan of the music of Doom, aren't you?
Yeah. So, as I kind of touched on earlier, Mick Gordon, who is the composer for Doom,
God amongst men, you call him.
he is a god amongst men. His soundtracks are just phenomenal. And what I like about the Doom soundtrack, I'm going to stop here because I know there's a reasonably big fight coming up, is the music adapts to your playstyle of the game.
All right.
So, as we're just walking around now, there's no enemies. The music's a little bit calmer. It's a little bit more tranquil. Yes, you've kind of still got that like techno heavy metal in the background, kind of still like slowly building up. But as soon as a fight starts, it naturally transitions into a really fast-paced type of play. So you might be able to hear it now as I collect another weapon. I've now kind of got the heavy cannon like assault rifle. So there are multiple weapons kind of available.
I was going to say that on the weapons, you've got a couple equipped to you, and then you can pick up some along the way.
Yes, as you kind of play through the game, you unlock more and more weapons. You're not necessarily going to find a random weapon on the floor. You can't pick up enemies' weapons, but mainly because the enemies' weapons are attached to their hands or they're throwing fireballs, which you can't really equip.
No.
So what it does do is, as you play through the game, you unlock more and more weapons. And I think that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was right. So 8 weapons in total. And you can either just tap the right bumper to change between the last previously used weapon and the one you want to use, or you can hold down the right bumper and you can fully select from the wheel the exact weapon you want at that time.
You have a nice grappling hook built into your gun now as well, don't you?
Not at the moment, but it is an unlock for the shotgun. So the combat shotgun actually unlocks an ability that enables you to attach a grappling hook to your shotgun.
That's wicked.
Which means you can kind of traverse the map. You can actually latch on to enemies and then drag them towards you, or you drag towards them. So it just means it's another traversal technique. And what I kind of like about this is it's not just a shooter. Yes, it is a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
But it has a puzzle element into it as well. So you might have seen me slightly earlier on. So you can hear the music now in the background if I be quiet. It's really starting to pick up. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of enemies around. So the music adjusts to that. So yeah, there's kind of traversal puzzles as well. So there are some platform elements into this game, which is a nice just like mix up. There's like moving firewalls. There's loads going on that kind of keep you...
Double jump.
So
double jumps.
And there is a triple jump as well. But you kind of unlock those as you kind of play through. So I'm trying to kill this around. There we go.
Here's a really interesting one. Andrew just put in the notes. Don't know if I've already mentioned this fact, but this random fact. In Doom 2, one of the creators, John Romeo, had his head impaled on a pole behind the face of the final boss, Icon of Sin, as a secret hitbox.
That's cool.
That's wicked.
You learn new things every day.
Thanks, Andrew. That's pretty cool, mate.
Add to your interesting facts.
Yeah, I got that to my list of now it's 15, a proper number, not 14, like an incomplete number. What kind of a list would that be? Here's 14 facts you didn't know. No one's gonna watch that. He also said that he means that he kind of wants all of us to be off it right now too. I was like, yeah, we do. We're all kind of a bit tired of where we are right now. Breaking the space station.
Yeah.
Different room, different 4 walls.
There we go. So I've just found a secret. So I knew it was there, but I was hoping to not fall onto it to show you guys where it kind of was.
Yeah.
But you have to actually... There was like a gap in the floor that you had to kind of jump over that you wouldn't naturally think would be there.
Yeah. So, also, just to chat about this as well. You've said at the very, very start, it looks aesthetically better. Like, people are looking, thinking it's a Doom game, it might not look as good. But it does. Aesthetically, it's an incredibly looking game. Yeah. But the main element of this game is still very much its gameplay, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. And really, like, I know a lot of people don't buy Doom games for its kind of multiplayer. They buy it. They buy it for the campaign, and that's really what draws them into it. The multiplayer is a great different way of actually playing it. But for me, the campaign has always been the way to play this. That's not the way to play it, but what draws me to play this game. Just the way that it plays, how fast-paced it is, how hard it is as well. I like difficult games. Generally, I play games on the hardest difficulty setting, just to try to challenge myself.
You're such a man. Look at you, manly man playing on the hardest difficulty.
And I don't even read the instructions. That's another thing we don't do, right?
There you go.
So yeah, there's a kind of lot going on. It's fast-paced. As I said, I love the music. It just everything about this game, I love. And we've just now... Sorry, Karen?
No, go on, continue.
No, I was going to say, we've just unlocked a new traversal element, which is actually wall climbing. So you actually grip onto the walls with your manly Doom hands. Manly Doom hands. But it kind of adds that another element to it to kind of solve these puzzles. You kind of look for those special walls that you can climb up. And something that hasn't been in the last couple of Doom games really properly is keycards. So in the original Doom, to get through a red door, you had to get a red keycard. A yellow door, yellow keycard. They've kind of properly introduced that again into this. So we've just found ourselves our yellow keycards. Right. And that's now going to open the yellow door, which is just down here, in amongst all these other enemies.
Chat out to the chat. Guys, what do you think of the game so far? What do you think of what you've seen? What do you think of what you've heard about the game? Who has it already? What have you thought of the game since you bought it? If you haven't already got it, or if you haven't already bought it, would you now? Would you consider buying this now? Let me know. Stick in the chat and let us know what you think. And Tom, I want to ask you one other thing. We are approaching, what, 10 minutes to go, nearly 30
Cool.
minutes to go. Derek asked a question earlier on about microtransactions. Let's talk about currency and in-game currency.
Yeah, so from what I have witnessed to date and from the research that I have done, there are no microtransactions per se, so there is no real money purchases to help you advance in this game, which for me, I really like. It's a game that you have to play to unlock things.
Okay, what's the currency within the game then?
So there's a couple of different currencies. There is something referred to as coins, and what that does is that unlocks kind of soft abilities and passive abilities for your character. So that could be that you deal more grenade damage, you deal more melee damage, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are then runes that you can only have a limited supply activated. That basically allow you to upgrade how much health you have, or the glory kill timer is longer, so you have more time to be able to actually perform those glory kills, gaining more health as you need it, because health is kind of important in these games. So at the moment they kind of last a couple of seconds, but if you get the rune that extends that, I'm just getting hit by fireballs. If you get the rune that extends your glory kill, you've got like 10 seconds to be able to actually get that glory kill in, which means you know that you're going to get some extra health at the end of it. It could be hold more ammo and stuff like that. So there's loads of different smaller things that progress you as a character, but you can adjust that to your playstyle. You don't actually have to pardon me, you don't have to play how the game wants you to play. You can actually play it how you want to. What's your playstyle? That's how you can set your character up. That's where it comes into RPG elements, which I think is really, really useful. Oh, gone too far. So yeah, you have these RPG elements as well, which I think is super cool. And we've probably just, in pretty good time as well, we've just unlocked the kind of final key ability, which is your frag grenades. So instead of having them in your pockets and you kind of throwing them with your hands, you actually get a shoulder-mounted grenade launcher, which is pretty cool. You kind of hit the left bumper and that will fire a grenade. And we've now just unlocked a new enemy, which is kind of your big floaty ball Caco demons, I think they're called.
Ball Caco demon.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna call them.
That's really good.
I didn't reach. Is there another thing I have to jump off it? Interesting. I'm gonna try and make this jump.
Go for it. Yeah,
there we go. So these demons, what they do is they're, as you can see, is a big floaty ball thing. So my description wasn't that bad.
It was pretty accurate, actually.
But you can actually get them to stutter and to stumble, so they're not actually constantly attacking you. And to do that, you have to throw a grenade into their mouth.
Oh, right.
And what that then does is it allows them to be glory killed. So it's a really quick way of actually taking them out, because they are a pretty tough enemy to have to deal with.
Right, now, Andrew has said, absolutely loved the game. Got it as a birthday gift from my husband. The story was great and the challenges collections kept me entertained. But being the completionist that I am, I got them all in a single playthrough. Nevertheless, that didn't take away anything from the enjoyment factor. The added bonuses of having Twitch Prime for the Doom McCorn skin just made it even more entertaining.
I feel like I need to get Twitch Prime now, just so I can get the Doom McCorn skin.
I was talking about it pretty good.
So yeah.
I've got a question for you, mate.
Okay, go ahead.
Doom guy's name.
It's Doom Guy. Doomslayer.
Yeah, but that's what he's known as. But did you know that he didn't get his actual name until 1985?
Oh, really?
Sorry, 1995, sorry.
1995.
And it was on the back of the first set of novels that released.
Okay.
Called Knee Deep in the Dead, the first Doom series of novels. And the protagonist's name in it was Flynn Fly Taggart.
Okay.
Doom Guy's a cooler name, to be honest.
Yeah, I prefer Doom Guy.
It's a much cooler name. There's your useless fact number, I don't know, 6.
Number 6. Oh, I'll take number 6.
Take 6, why not? There's so many. There's just so many in so little time. And so little will.
Well, we've got an hour to kind of go through it And we have to talk about gameplay as well. We can't just keep talking about useless. I didn't say useless facts.
And what is the point of me being here, Tom? What is the point?
To watch me kill demons, right? And
I'm 20 seconds behind watching you killing demons, mate.
keep me entertained. There we go.
It's been good so far, guys. What do you think? Let us know. And thanks for tuning in and watching us. Again, if you're over on Facebook, thanks very much for watching. Hit the like button, hit share. If you're on Mixer, please feel free to host us. We really appreciate it. And get it out Sparks Train going. And if you're on YouTube, like the channel, subscribe, share the video, show us some love. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much. We are here every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday now, with an additional podcast coming on our Facebook pages on Friday. So plenty of content for everyone to consume.
Oh god, I'm
How we
nearly
get
dead.
on, Tom?
I just died.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You've not died much, Tom.
I had
to be fair.
the extra life. So this is what I was talking about, gaining extra lives, which was the secret I found earlier. Is that because I just instantly died, I instantly came back to life again because I had that 1-up, which is vitally important, especially on harder difficulties.
Trigon, thank you for the sparks. Well, Trigon just snuck in there.
Snuck in with the sparks. I think we had some sparks earlier when we were talking about the sparks train, but I forgot to shout them out.
Gabbing About on YouTube said, pleasure as always. Nope, the pleasure is all ours. Here to entertain what we can, considering the circumstances.
Yes.
And Daggercast in with 100 sparks as well. Thank you.
Thank you kindly, guys. So you may have just seen as I was taking out that last kind of major demon, is that enemies now have different ways of actually killing them. So the crab creature, which I've forgotten its name. I'm just going to quickly look.
Dave the crab guy.
Dave the crab guy.
Yep.
No. The Arachnotron, that's the one. This guy. So as you can see, each enemy now has a weak point that you'll see in the top right-hand corner. His weak point is his turret. So he's constantly firing projectiles at me. However, if I take that turret out, he can no longer fire projectiles at me and he has to get up close, which is where I am at most deadly because I've got all these amazing abilities to be able to take them out. You've kind of got the Cacodemon, which his weaknesses are explosives. So if you fire a bomb into his mouth, he then has the ability to be glory killed. So every major boss has a weak point or main weaknesses, which you can kind of capitalize on, which is why you've got so many weapons to be able to jump between. Because it means that you have more options and more ways to play. As you kind of play through the game, you get used to those different options, enabling you to kind of be a badass Doomslayer.
Nice. Trigon 20,000 sparks and Born Gamer 1,000 sparks. Trigon says love a spark train. Don't we all?
All love a spark train.
Love the sparks train. John Pennick said saw some images from Nigel about the podcast made him warm and fuzzy. I think it's right down your street, John. That's live from Friday, and then weekly for now. But then once we get back to normal service, it'll be probably a fortnightly podcast. But at the moment, it's going to go with a weekly podcast. So, Tom, we have 5 minutes left, mate.
Cool. I got stuck here last time, and I can't remember how to get up this. Oh, it's over there. I'm right. I'm fine. So this is what we were talking about, kind of the puzzle platformers. At the moment, I'm now on this wall, and I've got to try and work out where to go. I can't jump up, so it's a case of looking around. And I've noticed that there's another climbable wall over on my right, so I can then jump across to there, grab onto that wall, and then there's another climbable wall with some flamethrowers. So I've got to kind of time my jump with that to make sure that I do get across. If I could then so wish, I could then jump back across, gain all this armor. So yeah, there's constantly kind of puzzle platformers to keep you kind of entertained. It's not just blood and guts. As cool as that is, it means there's an extra layer to this game.
Layer. Pretty cool.
Yes, but I think as we are what 4 minutes away from finishing.
4 minutes away from wrapping up.
I'm gonna so as we've kind of already spoken as well, there's these collectibles around. Get them all, you unlock some more things. One, you unlock the lore and you can actually read through, and you can kind of go through and view all the contents.
Nice.
So you can get some more lore, some more backstory if you so wish. So I think I've kind of covered all the main points that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, we have our base. We've talked about the multiplayer. We've talked about the different traversal techniques now, some updates from original Doom. Yeah, I think we kind of covered
Story,
everything.
The lore, the music, the platform elements, the in-game currency, the weapons, the difficulties. Tom, how does this stack up against Doom 2016?
It's brilliant. Like, to put it in one word, it's a purely brilliant game. It's, if you loved Doom 2016, you're gonna love this. If you've never played the remakes of or the rebrands of the Doom franchise, I'd highly recommend playing these titles. I'm just going to switch across back to our main camera, so at least then we are nice and big. Yeah, I'd highly recommend playing these titles if you like first-person shooters, if you like fast-paced combat, which is a ability-led, weapon-led, just brutal, up-in-your-face combat. This is brilliant. Feel free to jump and play Doom 2016 first, because it does kind of give some backstory to the Doom Slayer or Doom Guy, and this kind of furthers that as much as you can. Just jump straight into this. It is kind of your kind of standalone story, but you do get that so much more lore and history of Doom Guy by playing the original.
It's on Game Pass 2016.
Yes, 100%. So there's no excuse not to play it if you have Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass. It is available on console, which means you can just jump in and play it. Yeah. And then when you've completed that, you can then, if you feel like it, purchase Doom Eternal, which I would highly recommend.
And I was going to say that this game, from everywhere I've looked and from all the main I suppose, game reviewers, this is hugely recommended. It has come massively recommended, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those games that Doom 2016 was a sleeper hit. As much as good as it was, there was a lot of big games that came out this year. What's really interesting is that it's developed by Ideate Software and it's published by Bethesda Softworks. Bethesda weren't gonna actually jump on to Doom 2016. They weren't really sure about it. They were like, okay, it's a risk. But they had a little bit of extra money laying in a pot after their previous game that they released. And what they did went, you know what? We've got this kind of spare cash in a pot. Let's put it into Doom 2016. If it's a flop, okay, it's a flop. We've kind of lost a bit of money. Yeah. However, if it's a hit, amazing. And it turned out to be a huge hit. Yeah. So 2016, massive hit, and has drive them to make Doom Eternal, which I'm glad it was, because there have been some games released in the past couple of years that I think are amazing that not many people picked up on. Thankfully, Doom was one of those games that got picked up by reviewers and YouTubers and influencers and just the general public, and just flourished. And because of that, we have Doom Eternal.
And it's gone down an absolute treat.
Yes, that it has. And I can't wait to play some more. So I'm going to have some dinner after the stream, and then I'm probably going to play Doom.
I'm going to leave my house and go for my 2-kilometer walk that I'm allowed to go for. So I'm getting out and getting some fresh air.
Walk the dog.
So Tom, to wrap up then, we've gone through quite a lot of it. This is a really good game, highly recommended.
Yep.
Has everything you want to get from a Doom game, and probably more.
Yeah. There's been so much added to this compared to 2016, but still on the same path. As I said, if you love 2016, which you can play on Game Pass, you can just jump into Doom Eternal, and it's like you never left. It's like that warm hug when you get home. It's just with more blood and guts.
What kind of hugs are you getting home? We need to talk to Hannah, mate.
I know, right?
Something's not going on, right? Something's wrong here. Cool. Okay, then. To wrap up, then, folks, as we said, tomorrow night we have an Expert Zone live plus stream for half an hour. We've got the podcast on Friday. Next week we are back here. We are in the off season for Level Up, kicking back in for season 6 on when, Tom?
I nearly said April 15th. I nearly said June. I'm like, no, that's really far away.
I thought you were going to say March.
No, 15th of April is going to be our first season 6 stream. So the start of the new season, we're going to be doing a Game Pass special, hopefully with a very special game. But I'm working on some things.
Tom, season 6 is just going to look the same, though, isn't it?
Oh no, it's a new Ger. It's a new season. We have a new look, new feel, new segments. So I'm going to tease you guys with that. But yeah, come back in 2 weeks and you will see a brand new easy level up.
Very different looking.
Next week we are going to be playing, still going to be doing a stream, but we're going to be playing Resident Evil 3 Remake. So we've got a little bit of horror. So we've had a little bit of guts and glory. We're now going to go into some horror. Oh, you're busy. Oh, okay.
I'm busy. I'm washing my hair, mate. I'm washing my hair that day. Sorry, mate.
So we are going to be playing Resident Evil 3 next week. So make sure you tune in next week for that. And then the week after will be the start of season 6.
Yeah, We're looking forward to it. New season, new prizes, new look, new Tom.
New Tom. Okay.
Yep, we're gonna get your haircut.
Have I been
shaved.
fired and you're replacing me?
No, I just realised you've got your beanie hat on you, and I drew you with a beanie hat on as well. So guys, just remember, say goodbye to Tom. Bye, Tom. Bye, Tom.
Bye, Ger. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it. And we will see you next week.
See you soon. Bye.